Hi, this is Anthony Lighthall. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast entitled From Dreams to Actions, where we talk about business goals, supporting positive energy, and following your dreams. On today's episode, I'm going to change things up a little bit. I usually have a tagline or episode title, but this one is basically going to be me sharing a personal situation that happened on social media. And I want you, as the listener and the viewer, to walk walk through the story with me, but then in the back of your mind, ask yourself, what would you do in this situation? Or what if this were to happen to you? What would you plan to do, or how would you react during this time? Okay. I guess you can say the title of this is What Would You Do? And it's almost like slash social media situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Just to set the scene and give you some more context, I have a business, a side business where I do woodworking. So I make different products and have different projects that are made out of wood that I sell, and I have customers and things like that. And someone that I know posted a product that I've made before, but it's a product that's not, it's not like hard to make, like other people can make it. And he posted how this one person was talking about this business that made this product for him, and how it was very like, it was poor quality. He spent this money to buy this product, he was really excited to get it, and it was just terrible. It was just really poor quality. So it was actually like a repost. So the person I know was reposting a post or a reel of somebody that was doing like a review on a product, a wood product that they bought from somebody who I don't know. And they were just bad mouthing it, or just being honest on not being satisfied with the product. So in the caption of the person that I know that supports me, and I see him, at different events and things like that, in the caption he put my business name and was like, I'll say like ABC company does this. And if you weren't paying attention, you would think he was blasting me out there like, hey, this is the person who made this product and does poor quality, like don't reach out to them, don't reach out to me. But what he was doing was actually giving me props like, hey, this business screwed up and made a bad product of this, but reach out to Anthony, reach out to his business because he can make that. I've seen his work, he's good. But he didn't like elaborate on it enough. And so I received this message from someone who I don't know, just randomly. I don't know, maybe the same day, a couple of days later. And it was a really offensive, bad comment, about me and about my business and what I do. And I'm not going to read it because it's got like the N word in here. He's calling me a snake and got all these four-letter words. And at the end, he's like, I hope you go to hell. So he's basically like, why would you make this product and it's poor quality and poor customer service and all this stuff. So this person who I don't know that sent this comment to me, I guess, took it upon themselves to tell me about myself, basically, and how poor my product was, or how poor my business is. And I had to take a step back because I don't get bad reviews like this. I don't have people like directly coming at me and tagging me and just blasting me on social media like this. So I had to take a step back, and I had a couple um thoughts in my mind on what I was going to do. I could either A, not respond, and then I do seem like I'm hiding behind the curtain and I am that person that made this, and I am the scammer. Everything he said, I am. And then on the other side, I was like, I need to address this, but not in an aggressive confrontation way, which I easily could have, because he already set that tone. And I was like, okay, how am I going to address this? And I had to take a step back because I always say never, I was always taught or told, don't respond on emotion, because that emotion, I'm going to be heated, and then we're going to be back and forth, and no one's going to win. So at the end of the day, I'm like, how do I turn this bad situation that has nothing to do with me originally into an opportunity? How do I make money off this guy? And so I'll read you the my response during this situation of him just bad mouthing me in my business and my product. Okay. So I basically was like, good afternoon. I usually do not comment or reply with people to people with messages like yours, but I felt it I needed to correct you. I'm not the person who did the scamming on it was like a shoebox made out of wood. So I'm not the person who did the scamming on the shoebox. The person who left that comment about me was actually saying that I'm the person to contact for reliable service and products like these. This is the person, this is a person I know personally, and he was actually promoting my business. I can see where the confusion was on your part without fully investigating the original scammer on the post. Please reread the post and send your message to the correct person. I actually appreciate you messaging me because I'm sure other people are having the same mindset as you, thinking I am the scammer. Thank you. The person replied, my apologies. I replied back, no problem. I just wanted to get that resolved, homie. If you are ever looking for good work and great customer service, make sure to check out my products, man. And he replied, bet, I definitely will. So I was satisfied with that. I'm happy he responded, and I felt like I calmed that situation down with his response. You know, he apologized. He was like, yeah, I'll check you out, whatever. The thing is, you know, let's dissect that a bit because my response, I really wanted to be like, hey, that wasn't me, man, but check out what I have. But I also wanted to tell him about himself more in an intellectual way and more not as an aggressive way, where I was like, you know, you fully didn't investigate this situation, which means you didn't look at the original post of the person that made this, which was in that reel, which was in the post on the social media. Plus, I was like, I'm sure a lot of people will have that same mindset as you, like that ignorant mindset, because they're probably looking at it thinking that I was the person that did it, but I'm actually not. So certain words I put in there, which he probably didn't catch, where I was like, yeah, you're the dummy for not looking at this fully and you taking it upon yourself, which this has nothing to do with you, and I don't know you, where you're attacking me on a product that I didn't even make. So there's certain things that I definitely wanted to address in my response to this person. And I'm happy it got resolved and that's that. And I didn't get any other, you know, poor comments or responses from people that probably thought the same thing. And on top of that, the person that was actually trying to promote me, I reached out to him and was like, hey, can you, you know, I don't recall what I said. I don't know if I said delete that post or like repost it or rewrite, you know, giving me props on, you know, trying to send business my way. And so he understood and he agreed. And I kind of gave him the rundown on why I'm requesting it, like what happened with this person reaching out to me. And so he's like, oh, my bad. Like, I'll update that for you. So it got resolved. But I just wanted to make sure I focused on that for a little bit because I don't want anybody slandering my name, my product, my brand, my business. And with people on social media, on platforms, as you have probably seen and been a victim to or just witnessed, people talk heavy. They talk big when they're behind a screen. Everyone's got an opinion when they're behind a phone, but when they see you in person, they're not going to say nothing. They may give you a side eye, they may smack their teeth or whatever, but they're not going to be talking all big like that in front of you. And so that's the thing where I wanted to be the bigger person, where I was like, hey, do I even want to waste my time with this dude? Or do I want to, you know, resolve this issue so that it doesn't start spreading like wildfire and then that affects my brand? And so that's why I decided to respond to that person in that tone and not make this confrontational because I could have went off the rails with this person, and it could have went back and forth and so on. At the end of the day, I'm thinking about my pockets. I'm thinking about my money. And like I said, I'm figuring out how can I take this person who thought it was me, and how do I make money off this person? Whether it's them specifically and they're like, hey, I like this product or this brand that you did. Here's my money. I'm gonna pay you for it. Or if it's like, hey, this person's really cool. He didn't do this product like this, but I've seen his products. I'm gonna refer you to my cousin or to my mom or something like that. That's all I was thinking about. And that's how I wanted to respond to this person. So I wanted to share this because you may encounter this, whether it's personal, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business, and you have to think about how are you going to respond to this with something that has nothing to do with you, or something that was just kind of out of your power. Um, how do you respond? How do you how do you attack without being angry or upset, with what you read or what you saw? Now the thing is, that was easy for me to resolve because that was just one comment. He wrote like two sentences, but he was definitely bashing me, and I felt I had to come back and resolve that. But if I'm a celebrity, if my business takes off and I have all these comments, I'm not going to be able to respond to everyone like that. But I took advantage of that opportunity in that time where I could just focus my energy and that attention on that one person. But at the end of the day, you can't focus on all of that. You have to definitely have your blinders on. You got to, stay focused. At the end of the day, that person was ignorant, which was a distraction. And that distraction made me take a step back and made me think about how I'm going to assess that situation. Um, it's like celebrities, let's say a comedian. Oh, I saw them in Vegas and they were terrible. Or, that special they had on Netflix was terrible. I don't think it was funny. There's gonna be so many people attacking you behind a screen, behind a phone, a computer with opinions. And I can understand why entertainers, I'll say specifically, don't read comments. And they're told by their peers in entertainment, don't read the comments because it's really going to mess with your mind. It's going to, you could lose sleep. It's going to mess with you mentally. You're good. You're great, but someone read something wrong. Or maybe someone took your joke the wrong way. Or someone didn't understand the ending to your movie. And so now they want to be a critic. So I go to say, on social media, uh, if you're building something, if you are focused on something you believe in, don't read the comments. Don't even worry about the likes. Like, just post what you have to post, do your reels, do your photos, whatever, and just put it out there. It doesn't matter if it's one person, it doesn't matter if it's 2,000 people or 2.5 million. You're touching somebody. You're affecting somebody. Somebody's watching you. Somebody's listening to you. Somebody's looking at your product or your brand, whether it's one or whatever. Just put it out there, and don't get so focused on the comments. Don't get so focused on the likes, or people patting you on the back, because they could just be patting you on the back just to say it's great because they know you personally. But the people that really don't like it may not be saying anything. And so you think you are, doing something correct or the right way, or really, moving that needle when maybe you're not. So just put out what you got to put out, and focus on you, and just focus on what you're trying to build. But again, coming back to the overall episode of this section of the podcast with what would you do? That's my question to you. What would you do in that situation? If you had just maybe one or two comments where you could, focus your energy and your time in responding or trying to resolve that issue, what would you do? How would you address it? How much time would you take, to address it? Those are things you have to really, think about when you are um, in this community of social media, and putting yourself out there like that. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I kind of wanted to touch on with that. That was really it. It's just really, like I said, lastly is just think before you comment, think before you post. If you are a person that's looking at something that doesn't seem right, if it has nothing to do with you, just leave it alone. Don't even be like the person that reached out to me, because it's not like I made a product for them. It's not like that product that was reposted was even about them. They may have known that person, they may have been a family member, a cousin, and they felt like they had to be the pit bull to come after me. And it had nothing to do with either one of us. But at the end of the day, I'm happy it happened because now I can tell that story and share that with you all. And now I know what to do in the future if that ever happens as well. So again, I hope this was helpful. This was just a little something different I wanted to share with you all, from dreams to actions, in regards to like what would you do in a social media situation, because those situations are going to come up. They're going to arise. Are you going to ignore it? Are you going to resolve it? Are you going to attack it and come back and be a bigger pit bull, to that person coming after you? Just kind of think about that. Be very conscious of that. So I appreciate you all watching. Like, share, comment, and always remember to follow your dreams.